Today we have a very talented game developer who has cracked the code of making money with web games. Please let us all welcome Anul Agarwal, founder of Momo Games.
Hi everyone. So I was, swinging by the booths at IGDC, watching all the games, all the people that have made some amazing games, and it's nice. The games are nice, but most of the people, I think, don't really know how to, distribute their games or reach players with their games. They are able to make a good game, but the problem of discoverability or distribution still exists. So today I'm here to help you with that, how you can put your games on the web, make some money, and use some tools like ChatGPT and some playtesting tools to really validate your ideas early on. So I am Anul, and I have been making apps and websites for the past 12 years. I've been making games for the past 5 years now. And I've worked under different jobs like a game designer, game producer, developer, publishing department, and only until recently I started making my own games as an indie developer. So what are web games basically? I'm not sure if you guys played Zapak on Zapak.com back in the day. So web games are basically browser games, something like, you go to a website, you play your games, you just spend some time online and, watch some ads, play games, enjoy, have fun. And web games are getting popular again because of two reasons. Because it really helps you to boost the platform's engagement. So for example, on YouTube, they have a whole section of games now. YouTube already has a big player base, and they can play games, they can spend more time on the platform, like LinkedIn as well and Telegram now. You don't have to install the APK, go to the store, so the conversion drop-off is reduced. And you can have a single build for mobile, PC, and TV. So like I said, there's a bunch of other platforms you can just go and play. Now, if you have a good game, but you don't know how to reach players, let me tell you how you can do that. So you need to have a game, you need to go to the web platform, you need to provide your game, they will submit it for QA checks, iterations, game goes live, revenue comes in. For example, you can go to a platform like Crazy Games and upload your game, put your title, put your game's type, which engine it was built using. You can really upload the files, fill in all the details, your cover images, what kind of a game is it, more details. And you go to the website, you upload your game, and they check the game, they give you some feedback. Like, hey, we found this bug on your game, we found that bug on your game, and you have to fix the bugs, you have to work with the platform, you have to upload the game. And once that is done, the revenue starts coming in. So I'll just share one of my dashboards. For example, on game distribution, one of the platforms that I work with, I earn like 3-4 euros every day. And I haven't uploaded any games for the past 5 months, so it's all recurring passive income for me. But how do games earn on the website? How could you earn money by uploading your games to these websites? So the main answer is ads, in-game ads and banner ads. So IAPs don't really work well over here, but in-game ads is ads that are really played during the game. These can be rewarded or forced ads. So you can see over here, rewarded ads, for example, if you die, maybe you watch an ad to revive yourself. This is the most popular format on the web. And adjacent banner ads are the more important ads because they don't really interrupt the game, they are rather on the side. So the more the player plays, the more the banners are refreshed and the more revenue the game generates. So playtime is very important for these kind of games. So the higher the playtime, the higher the revenue. And you don't really have to worry about CPI or marketability or something. If your playtime is good enough, the platform will really just boost your game to the top, and you will make some money out of it. How could you reach out to these web platforms? So the most important thing is to have a good game ready. It should be high quality, good art, good sounds, good music, good design, and not just hyper casual or stickman character, something like that. It needs to have a good feel. And once you have such a game ready, you can upload it on a server like itch or GitHub and share a link like, okay, hey, here's my game, you can play it. If you enjoy the game, we can discuss a partnership, upload the game on your platform. And because they receive like tons of submissions, you really have to stand out in terms of quality for the game. You can't just be like a shabby, half-worked game or something like that. These are like some platforms that are getting really popular. Like Poki is one of the best platforms out there. It has like 60, 70 million monthly players. Crazy Games has like 30, 40 million players a month. Game distribution is like a distribution portal. You reach out to more than 400 million players every month. Here's also a list. You can take a photo if you want. It's also available in my Discord server. So how could you increase the revenue for your games, for such games? There's like a lot of factors that affect this, like your idea, your concept, the mechanic, the gameplay, the theme, the controls. It really has to be a fun game. It does not have to be like those typical mobile games, hyper casual. It's mostly the same gameplay that's repeated over and over again. I'll show some examples later. uh, Good quality art, sounds, the build has to be very optimized. So I personally use Unity to make all of these games. Unity is not the best engine for this because it's not well optimized, but with some hacks, I'm able to run my games very smoothly on the web platforms. And demand, like, if there's a good trend or, for example, there was this mooding hippo trend that was happening some time ago. So if you make a game based on hippo, maybe it could work out really well. And as I mentioned before, engagement, the higher the playtime, the higher the ad revenue, better for the platform and for yourself. And there's two different models that you can work with for these platforms. Ad revenue split, like I showed you, you can show the ads, you can split the revenue. The other model is quite interesting, which is the licensing model. So you basically talk to the platform, you tell them like, hey, I have a game, it's a good game, maybe you can like it. And if you're interested, maybe you can pay me an upfront fee to license the game to you. So in return, you won't receive any future ad revenue payment. And the platform buys the game for their platform. So the amount here ranges. It depends on game to game. It could be from like $500 to $1,000 to $2,000 to $5,000 for a single game for a single platform. It depends on the factors I mentioned before, how juicy the game is, how high engaging the game is. Now, these are some game engines. On the right are the engines that work well for web, very optimized. They are native HTML5 engines. On the left, they work, but they're not the best, like Godot or Unity. So I use Unity. And Unity 6 is supposed to be web-friendly, but I did not really experience anything like that. I feel it's the same. Maybe I still have to explore more. So most of the developers were making mobile games during COVID, and some are making PC games now. But what are some factors that can be good for the web? I think it's a mix of both PC and mobile because players play it on both PC and mobile. So the controls have to be adaptable. So, for example, like it's a drawing mechanic. You can draw with your finger. You can draw using a mouse. It can be played on both devices. The UI, the camera's view, it should be for portrait and landscape, both views, because cross-platform compatibility. And the most important part is fresh and innovative ideas will always stand out. So, for example, these are two games that are very popular on Poki. Level Devil is a very simple troll platformer game. So, for example, you are just a character, very simple art, and you're running around. There's some kind of troll happening in the level. It's more like a viral theme mechanic game, so you have to figure out how to cross the level without dying. You will die, obviously. This game actually reached 100 million gameplays in less than 1 year and was made by a solo developer. So he made a lot of money from this simple looking game, but there's a lot of work behind it, like level design and good graphics, not good graphics, but good sounds, good smart design, basically. The other one is Monkey Mart, which is an idle game. So it's more like you have a shop and you're running around, you're treating customers, stacking up items. It was made by two brothers, and it did like 300 million gameplays in a year and a half. So this game, because it's an idle games have higher playtime. Higher playtime would mean there's more ads showing on the sites and in the game. So they made a lot more money because they found a very good way to distribute the game by Poki. If they would have done this by doing it on mobile or PC or something like that, I don't know if it would have reached the same level of success. This is another game, Ragdoll Archer, by a solo developer. So it's a simple shooting game, physics-based. You have a character and you have to shoot at the enemies. And this game also did close to 60 to 70 million gameplays on Crazy Games, and again made by a solo developer. So how can you reduce your risk of failure and increase your chances of success by making games, basically? So there's two ways, I think. The first is to optimize your development speed. So whatever I will talk about is Unity right now, but it can also work for other engines like Construct or Play Canvas or something. And the other thing is to validate your ideas really early. So you don't go very long in the development and just to have the idea fail or something like that. So custom game templates is basically making reusable code like UI, game manager, sounds, assets like that, having a project file of it in Unity, keep opening that project again, copying it, and just writing the gameplay code, for which you can also use ChatGPT now. So you can use it to write level editors, modifying your template game codes. Like you can just buy a template online, ask it to modify the core gameplay, and it's very efficient, very seamless. So let's see, for example, here. I use it in all of my games, and my development time has cut down in more than half. So I just ask it what I want. For example, hey, this is amazing. I need a couple of things in player that does this. That should happen. In the original script, something was happening. Now I want something else to happen. And it's going to really think and write the code after that. So I just copy the code. I go to Unity. I paste the code. If there's any bugs, anything else, I come back to ChatGPT. I'm like, this is the problem I'm facing. But this is also because I have a very strong grasp on logic since I've been coding for 12 years. So I know what is right, what is wrong. I just have to guide ChatGPT to the right path. The other tool I want to showcase today is a playtesting tool by Poki. So they have this cool tool where you can upload your game build, and within 30 minutes, you would get some playtesting recordings. So, for example, I have a few games here that I've been testing. So let's take this one for example. I can just upload a new build, drag the zip file here, and add some changes, whatever. Go to playtest, start playtest, choose desktop or mobile. Let's go with mobile, portrait, and maybe platform. So it's optional, but click on start playtest. It will get 10 recordings from players that are playing the games on the website. So they are notified like, hey, you are a part of a playtest. Can we record your screen? And they would be like, yeah, sure. And it takes some time, like 30 to 40 minutes. But you would get like your entire gameplay recordings like this. So this is like a simple moving game, and you can see where the players are dropping off, what problems they are facing. Yeah, so maybe there's a lot of players that's not liking level 5, it's too difficult or something, so you can just go through the recordings and be like, okay, this guy is dropping off here, there's some problem in the game. So this can really help you validate ideas in less than a day. It takes like 10 minutes to integrate the SDK in Unity. You can export the build in less than 5 minutes. You can upload the build, start the playtest. So in 2 to 3 hours, you have like very early validation of your ideas. You don't even need more than 20, 25 levels. You can just do it with 10, 15 levels, see if the players are sticking around, and just move on. So I think that is for me. That was my talk. It was a short one, but you guys can follow me on LinkedIn if you enjoyed the talk. And if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer. Thank you, guys. I also have a Discord if you guys want to join. We discuss games and how to make games and everything. So. Yeah.
Hey, thanks for your talk. So my question is around contrasting behavior of users who are playing web games versus their behavior on mobile games, native games basically. So my hypothesis is that mobile games are more accessible and they have mechanisms to get players back into the game. You have push notifications, app icons on home screen. So probably that would be reflecting in higher retention and higher LTVs. Whereas I as a user, if I go on Poki website or any H5 games website, uh, I might open the website on my day zero, I might play a certain game, uh, but there will not be enough mechanisms for that game to get me back on the next day because I'm not in a habit of opening Poki every day, like how I open YouTube, for example. Probably that's why Playable is seeing higher attention. So that is something that I wanted to get your views on. Like, should web games uh, prioritize LTV on day zero itself? In your opinion, what kind of games do higher attention on web games? And in general, if a studio is trying to maximize LTVs, should they really like focus on web games or mobile games, everything else being equal? Just because I feel that retention is slightly better on mobile
Yeah.
games.
Yeah. Thank you for the question. Yeah, retention is definitely better on mobile games. Also, LTV because higher eCPMs for ads, web eCPMs are lower. But on the web, you get like a much larger scale. So you are an indie developer, you don't have to run your UA campaigns for mobile or something. You just go to the web. And most of the people who are making games, even at IGDC that I saw was like smaller studios. They may not have the budget or something for uh, running UA. And on mobile, it's quite difficult after the last 2 years, since the last 2 years to, get users. If you don't have enough capital or funds, you need like 6 to 8 months to make a game profitable if you're really after it. Here, you can just make a good game, validate your idea early, and put it out over there. So LTVs are definitely lower, but more platforms like YouTube, Telegram are coming with their own games. So maybe that could change something. Yeah.
You shared a list earlier with the list of
Yeah.
platforms for web games.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is that based on the success you've got from the platforms, or is it just a
So I have been distributing to only 1/3 of those platforms. I want to distribute to more platforms.
Okay.
That's just a small list. There's probably like 30, 40 more that I haven't discovered.
Okay.
But the ones I'm working with is generating me decent revenue. So in the future, I want to optimize my distribution process so I can reach out to every platform
So
over
could you
there.
share which platforms is working best for you? Like maybe the top three?
I'm working with Cool Math Games, Game Picks, Crazy Games, Game Distribution.
Okay.
Just yeah. So like game distribution, Game Picks, Cool Math Games, Crazy Games. I'm starting to upload my games now.
Okay. Pokey,
Uh,
you haven't worked with Pokey yet?
Pokey, they have a different system right now. So they have this tool, playtesting tool. You can use it. They have a different requirement that they want a certain engagement before they can, soft launch your game on their website.
Okay.
So maybe like 6 to 8 minutes of gameplay on D0 or something like that.
Okay.
So
got
only
it.
after that you can actually launch the game with them, because they receive a lot of submissions every day, so they want the game to stand out.
All right. And just another question. I saw on web games you need to keep getting your game featured to get additional revenue. So do you know any way in which you?
I think it depends on the game, like I mentioned, like engagement, juiciness, game's quality, how good the art is, the sound is. If it's a very, attractive game, the platform will help you boost the game on the platform.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, thank you for the talk. It was really interesting actually. I learned quite a few new things. So my question is also related to the list that you have put here. Do any of these platforms require that you have the game exclusively with them, or can you distribute to multiple platforms at a time?
You can distribute to multiple platforms. Some would want your game exclusively for their platform. They could pay you a higher fee or higher revenue share in exchange. It depends on how you negotiate it with them.
It's on a case-by-case basis.
On a case-by-case basis.
Okay.
So yeah.
Hey Anul, thanks for the talk. Is there anything that you tried that absolutely didn't work? Like something that you recommend to not do
Yeah.
for this game? For example, some game genres or to avoid or something like that.
Yeah, don't just take the trending mobile games, because that's what I was trying to do in the beginning, just taking what is working on mobile, trying to put it for the web. There's very low chances for that, because the web games, they want something more innovative, more fresh. Sure, those games may be fresh, but the mechanics are really pretty straightforward. They are mostly hyper-casual mechanics with hybrid casual monetization. So it's not the best way for the web. You can go platformer games, you can go shooters, you can go multiplayer games. They work really well.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, thank you guys.